everybody, how's it going? So I'm on location here in Toronto, Ontario. What's the name of the place we're in?
It's Color Semantics.
And they were nice enough to provide us with this facility to do this little interview. We've got a real special guest on the show. I've known this guy since about 1986, if you can believe that. We used to be in like rival bands back on the Windsor scene back in the day. He was a singer, I was a singer. My band was called Chaos, and you were in DNA originally.
That's correct.
And then you went on to go be in a band called Lesser Known.
Lesser Known, that's right.
Exactly. And if you check out YouTube, you can probably still see the video for Sweat on Command at some point. And
That's right.
Yep. And I promise you I wasn't going to throw you under the bus, so I'm not going to say anything about that other than, hey, you know what? We all start out and then we get better. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And Mike here is a professional director, and you do music videos for?
I've shot music videos for Alice in Chains. I've done stuff for Metal Blade, all the major labels, basically. So, yeah. Done a couple.
What are some of the big metal videos you've done then for some of the labels? I'm curious.
I just did one for Endseeker. They're out of Hamburg, Germany. So prongs up to my friends in Hamburg. That was the last one I just did for Metal Blade. So
sweet. And anybody else we should be checking out? Anything that we can find on YouTube?
You know, at the end, maybe you can put my website up. Go check out some of the metal videos I've done there. So yeah.
Okay, fantastic. All right, we'll definitely have a shout out to that, and we're going to have a shout out to this studio as well. Color Semantics. If you guys are looking to get a music video done, they'd be the guys to see about doing your color.
That's right.
We'll have some links to that as well. So, Mike, you've been doing film professionally since when? When did you get started?
I've been doing. I've been a cinematographer for about the last 15 years now. I've been doing it professionally 15 years. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And did you go to film school, or did you just kind of learn it on your own?
I did not go to film school. As Glenn mentioned, I played in a band for about 15 years, and then woke up one day and said, I'm going to become a world famous cinematographer. And everyone's like, what the hell is that? And here I am, 15 movies later, and shot for all the major labels. And so no film school, self-taught. Woke up one day and just picked up a camera. I didn't know one person in the business. I lived 4 hours away from Toronto. And it just a lot of hard work and a lot of mistakes. I'm a huge fan of like failing forward and just not being afraid to try. And you learn something new every day.
That's been my philosophy too, is you learn by doing, and you're not always going to get it right. And especially when you're doing YouTube, you don't get it right. The great thing about that is everybody lets you know when you don't get it right. It's awesome.
In the comment section. Comment below.
Exactly. And I really do appreciate you guys for that. So I wanted to ask you, as a professional music video director, and maybe some advice for some of the bands out there who might want to do some of their videos. Let's talk about some of the common mistakes you see and how people can avoid them.
Okay, well, I'd start with the first thing you have to realize, it is the music business. So it's a business. So you should have, you're out there, you're having fun, you're rocking and rolling, but you got to have at least one person in your band that's focused on the business aspect of it. They can keep an eye on it. And as long as you have band meetings and try and keep everyone on the same page, you're all moving in the same direction, that's a good place to start. The specific reason for a music video is to show concert promoters and prospective fans out there, how you are live, right? And as a rock band or as a metal band, a live performance band, that's how you're going to forge your career and try and make a couple shekels so you can pay your rent and get gas to the next place when you're on tour. So really focus on that it's an example of you playing live, and focus on that as you start focusing on who you're going to get to shoot the video and go from there.
Okay, so your next point, we were just discussing this, is don't cheap out. You guys out there who too cheap to buy bass strings or have to get a ride to band practice from your mom, this part is for you.
Yes. You're looking at, it's great. Modern technology is great where we can do like DIY stuff. We can record at home. We can do have all this technology to be able to do it ourselves. But when it comes to a professional music video that's, going to put your face out there to concert promoters and would-be fans, you want it to look professional. You want to hire a professional to shoot them. And you're looking at anywhere, in the indie world nowadays, you're looking at anywhere from $3,500 to about $15,000. I think that's kind of a good range to sort of look at. And you're like, $3,500, that could buy a lot of beer. You know what I mean? It's really you're investing in yourself. You're investing in your career. So you really should You've put money into, you've pooled your money as members, and you've saved up all your cash from playing live to record an album. Now you've got the album, you've got to, as a live band, you've got to get out there and make dust. As a big producer once told me, you got to get out there and make dust. You got to get in people's faces and play live. So don't cheap out. Try and look at your local scene, look at your regional scene. Find some bands that did some music videos that you like and you think look pro. Try and reach out to those people that produce those music videos. Find out what price range they're in, and really go the extra mile when you're writing new songs for your new record. Try and put some money aside to make sure that you have a couple bucks there to do your record, do your music video, and then save some money to go on tour and promote it.
Yeah. Exactly. I just want to make a note here, though. Mike is speaking in terms of Canadian dollars, not U.S. dollars. Yeah. So 3,500 Canadian is about 75 American.
Sure. Yeah. You do the. I shoot for American bands all the time, so I still try and get the $3,500 out of them.
Right on. Okay, so next up, you're talking about the less you want to spend, the more creative control you're going to be handing over to the guy making the video.
That's right. Typically, the way it works, I think that bands have approached me, and I've taken it on as a passion project because I really liked, I really like the band, I like their vibe, I like the music they're putting out. They didn't have a lot of money to spend, so I wanted to go to bat for them, and I did their video, but I took on a lot of the creative control, because it's for my portfolio. If you're in a band and you have something very specific, I want this very specific creative that we want to shoot. We want to be in a certain location with certain props or whatever it is. Expect to pay more money because you're taking the control out of the producer's hands. And as long as you're paying for it, if you want to execute that very specific vision, expect to pay more money. That's what I would say.
Fucking right. Yeah, that makes total sense, man. Awesome. Okay, next point I think has got to be a mistake a band would make is not communicating their idea effectively.
Yeah, so you've taken my advice. You've looked on YouTube. You've looked in the regional scene, the local scene. You've picked some bands that you really dig their music videos. You've reached out to the producers of these music videos, whether that's on Instagram or wherever you're able to find their contact info. Before you lay down your hard-earned money to get this music video done, really have a long conversation with this. Another big producer told me, be careful who you get into bed with, essentially, is the saying, right? So you want to make sure you're on the same sheet of music. They understand your band. They understand what you're all about, your genre, the type of music you're doing, your whole vibe, and the image that you want to put out there. You want to make sure you're on the same page before you start this project with them, right? And before you lay down your hard-earned money for it.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah.
So again, with the whole communication thing, the next big point is make sure you get a treatment from the producer. Don't go in flying blind. And for everybody asking out there, what the hell is a treatment? You've found this producer, this production company that you want to work with. You've had this long conversation. You've given them your album. They've listened to it. They've looked at the lyric sheet. You've sort of bounced ideas off them. A treatment is like a formal way of the producer saying, or the director, for that matter, it's their vision of what they see the music video looking like. They'll give you a set of mood boards, and it's these are kind of the types of images that we want to capture. They might give you some examples. You just want to see it all laid out on paper, and sort of, there's the old misconception, fix it in post. My saying, it's on the back of my business card, it's fix it in prep. That's really when the movie is made. That is when everything comes together, and it's better. It's less expensive to figure out these challenges and these problems before you begin than it is when you're actually shooting it, because then it costs more money, more time. It's always better to just have long conversations, get a second pitcher of beer, talk about the video, exactly what it is, and ask for the treatment and give notes then so you can really get something concrete before you begin. Holy shit, man. It's this is exactly what I've been saying on my show for years, is do it ahead of time, don't fix it in post. Yeah, it's you guys think I'm an asshole. No, here you go. Here's from a nice guy, coming from a nice guy. Same fucking thing. Pay attention, motherfuckers. So here's something a little bit weird, but I think this is a really good point, is bands need to rehearse to a click track for the video.
Yes. I would recommend for a live band, you play to a click track. You practice. The reason you're going to do that is because when you are shooting your live performance music video, you will be playing to a click track in order that it's right on time to the actual track, because you'll be playing that through playback on a PA. I know metal singers and metal musicians don't want to say the word lip sync, but when you're there on the day, you're doing this, you're going to play this song between 10 and 30 times. So when you're doing a live set, you're playing maybe 10, 15 songs, you will be playing that double. So you want to make sure that every one of those performances is right on the click, so that when it gets to the editing stage, everything is in sync for the editor, because if it's not in sync and you're not playing to a click track, they're going to have a real hard time keeping it in sync, the snare right on the snare head, and keeping it in sync. So that is my recommendation. Play to a click track when you practice. Make sure it's tight, 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 like a tiger before you go in.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I can see how that would work in post, too. I mean, like, if everything's laid out there, they can just literally have a click track on the on the timeline, exactly. They can just chop it up and drop it in place as he said. That actually would save a giant amount of time.
No different than Pro Tools. The drummer's a little bit off. Oh, we can just slide the snare shot over and...
No! Let the drummer fucking play!
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see for a music video, again, the music video is all just, it's make believe anyway. I hate to tell you guys this, but yeah, they're not actually playing the stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
It's supposed to look cool though. The other thing is you got to make sure you guys look like you're all in the same band. Like what mistakes have you seen here in this kind of situation?
I've seen people come in, half of them are like bullet belts and like leather, and then you've got some guy wearing like a dress shirt, and it's like, okay, you don't look like you're in the same band. I get it, everyone's got their individual style, and I'm not talking about like dress like boy bands, and I'm not doing something like that, but just kind of, you want to look like you're the same vibe, and you've got the same sort of visual aesthetic when you go in, and you should be doing this live anyways, right? You should kind of feel like you're one unit, you're presenting yourself as a band and not individual members, and yeah. Right,
and this all comes down to branding. It's not just your band logo. You have to have a cohesive look, because ultimately you're making a product.
Sad to say, it's the division of art and commerce, and as a cinematographer, we face this as well, right? It's like, how much is commerce and how much is art? And we try to fight for the art part, but you still need to eat and move forward with all those things, right? We all have to live and survive. So, and it just propels your career forward as well. So you got to really be business minded and look at it as a business as well.
Okay, I just want to interject one here as well, because we didn't mention my favorite pet peeve about indie music videos is that don't stare at your fucking fretboard.
Again, and this goes back to one of the very first points I made, is this is a representation of your band playing live. So if a concert promoter sees this, or some prospective fan sees it, and you're not tight and you're sloppy, and they're going to be like, meh, I don't want to see them live. But if you're tight, super tight, and the video is hardcore, wow, I got to see this band when they come around. And the concert promoter, when they see it, they're going to be like, this band is great. I'm going to hire them. I should put them on this bill, this music festival. They should come and open out. So make sure you're tight when you go in.
All right, fantastic. Mike, thank you so much for being on the show, man. Seriously.
Great.
Now, if you guys want to get an awesome music video for your band, check out Mike's services. I'll have a link in the description below. You can check it out. He just shot a new one for the band Tortured Saint. Tortured's been on my show quite a bit over the last few years, yes. And that'll be coming out in the next few weeks, won't it?
I've delivered it, and it's in their hands, and yeah, you'll have to keep an eye on it to figure out when that comes out.
Okay. And they did it, for a reasonable budget. It wasn't major expense, but it wasn't super cheap either. I know they're really happy with what they got. So if you're like, in Canada right now and you need to get an awesome music video, yeah, definitely check out Mike Davidson. He's the guy to see. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And don't forget to check out Mike's work. He really does some amazing stuff. Mike, once again, thank you so much for being on the show, dude.
Thanks, Len.
All right. Until next time, let's make some great music together.